Oh, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine on the night. All right. To old time's sake.
For old time's sake.
I've got a surprise for you. All right, I'll have a little sip.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I do love surprises.
because since I've kind of got back in touch with you, right? I've you've called me sir, and you called me sir, and I felt like I was like needed to give you a detention or something, and you sort of had this. So I thought I'd do the interview in a Yoda mask. Just
I've seen Yoda make an appearance.
yeah. So just to break the ice and say, I am a teacher, but I'm also a funny guy. You
You're
can
not worthy, must be Yoda.
Ray King, a good friend of mine. Welcome to the Universe. Thank you for making the long trip away from the Matrix.
More than happy to be here.
Yeah, and give us some tips from a master tradesman, someone who's basically worked with his hands. He's gone from school. He said, you know what, I'm going to get good at something tangible, something practical, and then you're telling me about building a business and being in scouts and loving your family and basically not the academic path, more getting out of school and going, you know what, I'm going to actually make things that make sense.
Yeah, well, I don't think striving to make things make sense was high on the agenda to begin with. Getting out of school, I did enjoy school. A lot of fun, a lot of parties. But getting out, I love to work with my hands and fell into the steel game. Got an apprenticeship there quite quickly. As I was saying earlier, I went in on Friday afternoon to see this man if he'd take me on. That was Siri talking in my ear. I apologise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Matrix.
the Matrix is following me.
It's trying to get
Following me, even to here.
What's up with the Matrix?
Yeah, Friday afternoon, can you take me on as an apprentice? And within 10 minutes, he put a broom in my hand, and there I was. And steel was a good choice because it was very difficult to break things. It was tough, it was dirty, but it was great building things, creating things. You've got a tangible result at the end. I did that. I welded every single bit and put it together, and now it's performing a function that's going to last for a long time. And I'm kind of results driven that way. I like to see something that I've built. And I guess in my spare time I like to build and tinker and play around in my shed. And
So boilermaker.
boilermaker.
That's a trade that you chose, or that you got the opportunity in.
Yeah. And through boilermaking, working in the resources industry, the big bad mining world, and looking after people, as a tradesman, having those skills, but then leading a group of people with those skills to finish a task, an achievable outcome in the end. I loved it. I love working with people, guiding them, helping them, identifying their strengths, and putting them with each other to bring about that outcome. That was most of the early years of my life, and then sort of fell into a business where we decided to want to give a little bit more back. Or sort of, you look around at the waste in the world, the needless waste, the consumerist ideals that it's just buy more shit, just keep buying, and they're throwing it away. Just a disposable lifestyle that we live in, and this little business that my wife and I had the opportunity to get was about fixing, and I love fixing. I love building and fixing. Growing up on a little farm, a little way out of town, if something broke, you fixed it.
Mm.
So you learn early on how to fix things, and I really enjoy fixing things because you take something that's no good, and it works again. It's performing a function that is useful.
Yeah.
So we took on this little business, and it wasn't easy. Like any small business, I think trying to work for yourself, if it was easy, we'd all be doing it. It's not. It's very hard.
Mm.
You've got to try and make a livelihood out of doing something that you enjoy doing, or you think there's a purpose in it in the end. But you've got to monetize that to get through life and society.
Yeah.
So we did that, and we've been at that for about 17 years now. It started with just a couple of people. We struggled hard. It went down to just my wife and one repairer. We were repairing for the outdoor adventure sector, hikers, campers. We were repairing clothes, backpacks, tents, sleeping bags, camping stuff through the public and for a lot of the outdoor stores in the city. We were making a few little custom-made items, but offshore manufacturing really hit us.
This was the mid-2000s, you'd say? Or
this was 2008, 9, 10 sort of thing.
This is before. I was just saying before. This is before the recycling became
before the
trendy
recycling
and the circular
economy
wasn't really talked about that.
No, not at all. But I've always seen a need for repairing things. They're too good to be just thrown into landfill, which is a huge problem.
And of course, the great thing about repairing things is that you have to work out how it works to then work out how.
That's right. You've got to deconstruct it, pull it apart in order to put it back together,
reconstruct it, or even repurpose, because you could take something that's working in one way, but you could make it work in another way.
Yeah, and that whole circularity, the circular economy, has evolved from early days of just fixing. Now it's to take a product that, it may not have, it's at its end of life, its purpose for what it was made for. How do you use that to bring it back into the economy as either a completely new product or deconstructed and used as feedstock to go into repairs to keep them going? Utilising every part, coming full circle, trying to keep as little out of landfill as possible. And that's what we started doing from early days, using the discarded parts as feedstock for our repairs, and then taking a lot of these fabrics and things and making something completely new. Bags, laptop cases, different things like that, out of this waste and selling them.
And so now you're telling me you're now the authorised repairer for
we part of what we do all warranty repairs for a lot of big brands in that sector, and Gore-Tex fabrics, which a lot of people are familiar with. We're the only ones in Asia Pacific that are authorised to repair them and test them for waterproof and bring them back to a functioning state. So it's very niche, but sought after when you need it. If people need us, they can generally find us. And the warranty repairs for certain brands has really grown in strength over the years. A lot of people bring their garment back, and the company who's manufactured that will stand by it. They want it to keep going, because they can keep you in it. That
builds their brand
trust. And there are certain companies. Can I say company?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, Patagonia are probably leading the way. They've had that from day one. Their founder had a mindset very early on that he wants that gear to keep going. They will repair it at no cost to the consumer for the life of that, not just, the lifetime warranties and guarantees are pretty loosely based on semantics with a lot here, but this is for the life of it. If you bugger it up, it'll get repaired, and that's where we come in. We do all the repairs.
And of course, the great thing when a company makes that stand, all the other companies have to start.
Yeah, they will start slowly following on. It's been a slow process, but they've seen the writing on the wall. Patagonia were odd because they broke a lot of rules in business that you wouldn't expect. One famous one is the founder put a full-page ad in, I think, a big American newspaper, New York Post or something, of one of their jackets, one of their highest-selling jackets, saying, "Don't buy this jacket." One of the most amazing things he could have ever done. The stock soared, and because he was basically saying, don't buy this needlessly and create more landfill. The consumers, and when
the fashion thing.
and they've just been a leader in that way, and we trying to use all recycled materials. They've been pretty amazing, and other companies are following suit. The whole warranty in play with them. They'll stand by their product. They want to keep it going. But when you've got products that are manufactured outside of the economy in which they're sold, it comes down to money. It may cost them X amount, say $20, to produce this garment that is then sold for $300. And if it is going to be repaired here in the economy where it's sold in Australia, it's going to be repaired by someone who wants to be paid Australian wages based on time. So there's always that comes into it.
As you were saying before, it's cheaper in many cases to just replace it with something.
Very much so. And that was used to just be, no worries, just replace it. And out of mind, out of sight. And you've seen with shows, the war on waste and things like that on the ABC, just how big a problem textile waste is in not only Australia but the globe. Whether it's going into landfill or whether some countries ship off all their old clothes and textiles to third world countries, which may sound like a noble thing. Oh, we're giving them clothes. Well, what it's succeeded in doing is killing their textile industry, manufacturing over there. Why do we need to make jackets and pants in our small country anymore when we're getting all this free Nike clothes and everything else sent to us for nothing? So the textile waste, it creates a number of problems, not just landfill, but in the economy as well.
We've skimmed over a whole bunch of things, and I'm going to go back and because if the whole idea, of course, of these videos is to just pick your brains, and if anything that you've experienced in life can help a young man out there, young fellow, sort of setting out perhaps from high school, thinking which way will I go? You've always been a bit of a maverick. You've done it your way. I think it's fair to say the Ray way. And so if we could skip in, so you basically you went and got a trade, boilermaker, but basically one of the sort of the hardest, toughest jobs, in some ways, very heavy and in some way dangerous. You're dealing with heat and dangerous materials and stuff. That apprenticeship experience, what was that like going from high school where you're basically kind of still very much under the protective wings of the school and the teachers, and then I know that getting a trade, hanging out with grown men that they've been in this game for a long time.
It's a big step for any young person to leave the structure of school and go into the workforce. And the structure of school, for better or worse, is good standing, because I think structure is really important for anybody. It just gives you that motivation to, get up each morning, just show up each day and be part of something bigger than yourself. And you get a lot of satisfaction out of that. You show up every day. routine. It's not always a bad thing because you learn those skills along the way. And skills are so important for life. It doesn't matter what that skill is. If it's a skill that you can then utilize to better yourself, to better those around you, it's all worth it in the end. Whether it's a trade or any type of skill that performs some kind of function. And ultimately, I think we all, hopefully all of us, we all sort of reach a point where we want to give a little bit back, whether that's on a community level or whether that's just showing an appreciation to your mentors or the people that have taught you. You want to give a little bit back, whether it's gratitude or something tangible. We all, as humans, we like praise and we like to show gratitude. I don't know, I think it's an innate thing in humans that we need that. And I think for any young man out there entering the world, you want to feel good about yourself as well. And feeling good about yourself isn't just about doing things that make, not things that make you feel good, but the easy things. Drinking, partying, going out and getting loose. We all do it. We've all done it and continue to do it. It's fun. But it's the small things that give you that little feeling in here. I've been part of something that did this. I was part of a crew that built this. I was part of the team that helped that, lady that fell over on the corner. Me and the three mates went over there, helped her up and helped her on her way. You feel a little bit better. And it's just having the positivity as a young man. Dive headlong into something that's a little bit scary. That I'm not sure what I'm trying to say.
That's right. It's
as a young man, you just to move in, move outside of your boundaries and learn a new skill, whatever that skill.
Trying new things,
Trying new things.
I think also taking on board mentorship, as in, I imagine not having. Actually, I did do an apprenticeship as a waiter, I would say, and that was basically humbling. So you, as a young fella, you don't necessarily want to listen to everything that anyone says.
No.
But when you've got an apprenticeship, you have to.
Yeah, I think that mentor, teacher, boss, leader in any discipline is very important because he's got to earn your trust. And until you trust someone, you're not going to open up and fully accept what they're going to teach. I guess it's important to find something that you enjoy doing. But even when it's not something you enjoy doing, that if that person is doing it right, then it's all going to fall into place and the experience is going to be positive. The world's getting tougher. The world's getting tougher out there for people. But I think the same basics apply. You've got to have good people out there to support you and know that it is a tough world out there, but it is going to be all right. They're okay to say it's all going to be all right. Some people it's not all right. But it's finding a way out of these situations where you think it's not all right. It's leaning on people that you do trust, finding people that you trust, and talking to those people. Like yourself, as a teacher, you must feel a lot of gratitude when someone actually reaches out to you on a level beyond, how do I do this, sir?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, you really do. You can't force it on anyone.
No,
and so you actually are waiting for that to happen, and it might only happen once in your whole time of teaching that you get someone to get to a certain level. But you can only give to the level that someone's willing to,
of course,
to to accept it. And that's my experience. So when someone does show that they're a little bit more willing to walk on coals, so to speak, or to go into the uncomfortable zone to learn something, then you're kind of like, oh, this is exciting for me more as a teacher. I can access perhaps some way.
And it is a tough step for those young people to do that, to seek the help.
Totally, totally. And it can happen in any time. It could happen when you're an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen when you're
definitely. As an apprentice, my boss was quite elderly, I think. He's still alive, so he couldn't have been that old, but he was always an old guy to me. Not a harsh disciplinarian, but very practical, very pragmatic. You do it this way, it's the right way. And everything was very black and white. But also, in his spare time, he was involved in the scouting movement, which so he sort of became a mentor in that capacity that got me further into the scout movement. And it's within Scouts where I really picked up on how the structure in the community will benefit kids, whether it's a formal community-based team sport or a class or the Scouts. It's bringing these people together and then having them rely on each other. There's a lot to be said for it because you become a cohesive group, and you learn to perform tasks to an end result, relying on each other within your age bracket. It's quite fulfilling. And ultimately, out of that, you become a person that is more community-minded.
Yeah, you were saying before that it was a profound experience. It's been a profound part of your life, and especially that idea of service, of seeing the importance of giving back.
And the scouting movement starts very early from your early Cub Scouts and goes through to adulthood, and it's when you get to those formative years of the 14-year-olds, when young men are most being pushed and pulled, society, their bodies and everything around them, they feel like they're being judged. Within the scouting movement at that age, it becomes a self-governing group of people, the 14 to 18-year-olds, where they have to rely on themselves. They don't have they got a little bit of guidance from the adults around there, but they learn to structure it themselves and organise themselves. And then as they transition into the upper levels of 18 years and beyond, they've formalised those structures within their group, and it's no longer about performing outcomes that benefit them. It's then thrust back onto the community. You're performing outcomes together that benefit the community around you. It's service. A lot to be said for the scouting movement. I'm a big advocate for it. It was always a nerdy thing when I was a little kid. I look at Billy up the road, he's in the Scout, I feel that stupid hat. I entered pretty late about 14, 15, but I'm so glad I did. And when I finished up, got older, life got on, I put both my boys into it and then got re-involved on the committee level to, keep them solvent and make sure it ticked. I didn't actually become a leader of the kids, but had quite a good overview of it. And it's still a great part of society, the Scout movement. I think any community-based organisation for young people, we're all there for the one reason, to make these kids' lives better, because you'll see with Scouts and other community groups, not so much in your team sports, footy and that, you got kids who are from dysfunctional homes, broken homes, they're, sideliners, on the fringe, low confidence, self-esteem, special needs issues, and we're all on the spectrum, and some more than others. but they find a place within the Scouts. They find the pecking order, but it's not a violent, pecking order of authoritarianism. It is. Everybody shoulders the load.
Yeah,
and everybody finds a place.
And it's I mean, it's geared towards having fun.
It is. Early days is all about fun, and that does go all the way through it.
Fun outdoors, fun, fun doing things off your screen.
That's right. That's a big thing. Getting outside. The Scout motto: be prepared. Be prepared for anything, because once you get outside, those elements will throw a lot of things at you. You go on a multi-day hike, where it's just you and your patrol or your crew, and you've been given a brief. We've got to go from A to B to C over 3 nights, camping, carry our own food, and come what may with the weather. It gradually gets you into that, and self-reliance. It just teaches that self-reliance, initiative. Yeah, which they have badges that you earn in initiative and things like that. It's good. It teaches you to upskill yourself. Which everybody really should be doing throughout their life. Upskill yourself in whatever capacity it might be.
They're life skills.
Life skills.
And so life skills are, that's what we need. We actually need.
We do. And we
navigate.
We need them more than ever, because life is just so damn busy. We're being pushed and pulled from every direction. And social media hasn't made it easier.
It doesn't teach us life skill.
It teaches you nothing. It takes you down a hole of doom scrolling, where young people especially, it becomes very evident that everyone can see what you're doing, or they expect to know what you're doing, because you can see what they're doing, and they're judging, and it's a detriment to the world.
Yeah, it's a tricky area where
it is.
Yeah, where you can't ignore it.
No.
I'm actually reaching out through social media at this very moment.
I know it's
but at the same time, it's taken away a lot of those things that used to make us feel prepared for the world. So things like Scouts are a great chance to build some of those skills back in. I was going to come back to, so we talked about the apprenticeship and what you've had a chance to learn about mentorship. Then I know that there was a period where you were working as a traffic control person, and that actually, while that maybe wasn't using your trade, you ended up getting skills there that grew into a much bigger position.
Yeah, it started, my wife's family had started a traffic control company. This is the birth of the industry back in the early 90s, when there were no traffic control companies, really. So I just thought, this is easy. It's easier than working as a boilermaker or hold a stop and go back. And the company just grew. It just grew and grew and grew. And in the end, being part of the family, I was, ops manager there. We had up to 130 employees on a daily basis, running crews all across the state and interstate. So it taught me a lot of skills in regards to business, and especially people management. All those people every day, different people. And as you can imagine, traffic controllers, they're not all brain surgeons coming through, for want of a better word. They're a vast cross-section of people that just want a job.
They're for different reasons.
They're all there for different reasons. And the one reason, to make $1.
And to make $1, yeah.
And I realised the skills I learned throughout that were the people management skills. Just being able to liaise with someone, chat for 10, 15 minutes and get a good idea. And then that evolves into being able to use them to their best advantage, identifying their strengths, weaknesses, and how they work with other people. And I became reasonable at that, and that then translated into later life into managing people like that. And I love meeting new people, and I love, also on a work level, when I was in the resources game, looking after crews of people. I love meeting new people that I don't know anything about. And it doesn't take long. I love to chat, to glean a little bit of information off them, you know, study them and see how they come across. And how can I harness them to, you know, to get anyone to do something? You want them to feel good about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to, you know, feather their nets, you know, make them feel good so that they want to work, they want to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wants to feel good about himself. Everyone likes praise. Okay, it comes down to being praised, deservedly so. And I enjoy doing that. I think, going through Scouts and especially through the traffic management company with so many different people on a daily basis, gave me a lot of skills.
Dealing with people.
People
management, people.
Yeah, as we can both attest, we can both fit in anywhere. We had some wild times as youngsters, and we can we can fit in with
I was thinking when I first met you, you had a massive green mohawk. You were the wildest cat I think I'd ever seen, and then talking to you, the friendliest guy. You know, and I think we just, every time we hung out, we just had a great time together.
Yeah, it was great. And I can't fit in on any level. I'll sit there and have a beer with all the wild punks in the music scene, or go and sit with the barfly sitting by himself, the old fella down the end of the bar, perfectly at ease, and have a chat with him. Or mix it with the toffs at the top end of town if I have to, put a suit on. As you well do when you're in the hospitality game. You work in some very high-class gigs. You held your own. Yeah, it's... People are inherently good. They really are. They're a few bad apples, but, you know, everybody wants to get through life feeling good about themselves. And once you feel good about yourself, you want the people around you to feel good. They want to give a little bit back. By and large, everyone really wants that.
That's it.
Gives you peace of mind.
It's a true. I've tested that, and I found that to be true. And if you trust people's kindness, sometimes they let you down, but mostly, it actually helps you to trust. I mean, that's the most important thing. The more trusting you are that there are kind people out there, the more you actually attract that kindness, and people will do things, and they'll give you their best, and they'll show you the good side of themselves, because everyone can choose. You know, I could in this moment, I could give you this, or I could give you this. You know, and actually, it's a little bit, you know, what you put out as well. If you're saying, I know that I've come from the kindness of, I'm here now because of the kindness of other people in my life, and so I'm going to remember that and give a bit of that. People will want to give you with that same idea.
And in business, when you've got an employee, the more trust you place in them, and the more responsibility that you give them, if it's come from the right place, like, you know, I generally, a lot of praise, you're doing well, really happy with what you're doing, and then you step it up and you give them more responsibility, generally they'll want to please you, and they'll step up to the plate, work a bit harder, and it's very reciprocal. But if you're the sort of person that says, you know, I give them more responsibility, but with a proviso, listen, you know, there's that element of distrust, and that's when you'll run into problems, because they're feeling, you know, doesn't really trust me or think I can manage this on my own. He's still micromanaging in helicopter view over the top of me. You're just going to stifle them and their creativity and their ability to spread their wings. So it's like I said, it's got to be reciprocal. You've got to do it in genuine good faith, and you'll generally be rewarded. Like you said, there's always bad apples. There always will be. Good judge of character can generally spot the signs.
Sometimes they slip through, and
they do. And you can't blame
anyone for missing
Never
those
know.
cues.
You never know. Never know what people have done, where they've come from, how they've got to be the way they've got. And
Exactly.
actually, the most important thing is to be able to just let it go and let them be and not let it get to you.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You were saying before that you manage at the moment 15 people or so in your business?
Yeah, 14 people work for us.
And you were saying that like you're thinking all the time, and you have now for like decades, how do I make sure that I've got their pay packet covered?
Yeah.
And people don't realise the boss is actually not just sitting back having a cushion.
No,
They're actually a lot more worried than you are.
Yeah. Small business in general, anyone that is self-employed, once you've got an employee working for you, you are solely responsible to ensure that they have a pay packet every week. When you work for someone else, you just know it's a given. I'm going to get paid every week. Don't think too much about it as long as I show up and do my job. The owner of that business, number one, has to make sure you get your pay packet each week. And hopefully there's some left over for them. And then he's also going to be thinking there's still going to be money coming in next week and the week after that and the week after that. And hopefully it's going to grow. So it's an ongoing,
Viable, ongoing,
long-term to keep a business going, keep it growing, or at least stabilising to maintain the status quo.
Yeah, I think that's a really important message for young people to hear, because you don't. Yeah, it's why do some people get ahead in the workforce seemingly so easily? They're always the ones that don't create trouble for the boss. Like try to help the boss as much as possible.
Yeah.
Try to not worry about, am I getting paid the exact amount I should be? Like tit for tat, like that's the sort of thing where you perhaps think that you're due, not necessarily because your boss is actually working really hard to make sure that the business is going well enough for you to get paid, but you're due just because you deserve it or something. So it's a good entitlement. There's a word, and the people who do well, I think the young people who do well quickly in work don't have entitlement.
That's right. It's expectations. What do you expect? An honest day's work, you should expect an honest day's paid. Simple as that. But in knowing that what you've done has been enabled by somebody else to make it there, giving you that opportunity, and that employer will be bending backwards to ensure that you have something to do that he can then pay you to do.
It's beneficial to the business.
Everybody. I mean, make no bones about it. It's all about monetization to keep the employer livelihood going and to make sure the employee has got a wage and wants to keep coming back. So if he keeps coming back, the business can thrive. Yeah. And that's what you want. And they're not going to keep coming back if it's a shitty workplace and the atmosphere is toxic and they don't want to be there. They're not going to perform as they should.
You were saying before that you've gone without pay to make sure that your employees have got their pay.
Many times.
And you would never have told. They wouldn't have known that.
No. And, for many years, I had to go and seek work elsewhere. I went, worked in the resources sector, in the mining.
Fly out.
Fly out. The dirty old FIFO boilermaker, because I had to fund the business, because I wasn't making any money. There wasn't, there was only a couple of people there, but I knew it had legs. So I did that. So my wife could work in there with a technician we had to keep it going. And it wasn't fun, fly out. It's a hot, drudgery laden business.
You're saying
very hot.
You reckon it took a few years off your life?
I think it aged me incredibly. My wife will tell you that in a heartbeat. It did. It's long hours. You're doing 12 to 40 hour days, incredible heat, over 40s, dust and dirt, noise. It's hard work. It's a hard slog. And I'll admit it. I did it purely for the money because I had to funnel that money into the business. I knew it had legs. I wanted to build it because I think
I thought that, you know, one day it's going to be self-sustaining, and I'm going to be doing a good thing. And it seems to be paying off now. I mean, it's not making me a millionaire, but it's paying the wages, and I've got a very happy workplace. I've got at least 3 people work for me that have now got long service. One of our early repairers, when it was just her and my wife, she's still with us to this day.
Close to 2 decades.
Yeah, and it's an incredible workplace. It's family. You know, we've got about 7 Vietnamese ladies, seamstresses, because it's all working textiles. It was very hard to find people skilled in that. It's just not something that Australian manufacturing.
We've lost it.
It was lost. We lost it.
We used to have it.
We lost it. And a lot of the Vietnamese community were doing a lot of that work. And I was lucky enough to get one girl early days on, and she's been a stalwart. She runs the ship with all the girls, and when we meet people, she sources them, and they are their family. We have amazing lunches together. Great cooks, very funny, beautiful people. Business wouldn't be what it is without them.
Yeah. And so you've found yourself as a little bit of you've got your own little community, and you're basically you're a leader of a community. Your scouting experience, your management has all come together, and you're making sure that everyone's happy, that everyone's got the business is making enough money to keep everyone coming back. That you're growing in as much as you can, and you've got a sense, I guess, of satisfaction.
Yeah,
from building this
every day,
very small.
They'll walk in because, you know, make no bones about it. I'm at work every single day. I've still got to work, and my wife as well. Which, you know, without my wife, you know, the business wouldn't even be there. She shouldered a lot of the work, especially when I was away.
Yeah, let's go back to that, because
held that together.
You touched on before, we were chatting before, and you said it was, you loved it. You absolutely loved it. You loved aspects of it, but it was also one of the hardest things that you could do, because you're away from your family. Yeah. It was 47, 48 degrees. Many days.
I made that
some days
conscious decision. I needed money. The mining boom was on, and I had a skill. I had a trade. So I left. My boys were 10, 11 years old. I you know, shaped them into the men I hope they would ultimately become. So I knew I was going to be away for long periods, and my wife was at home with the boys still in school and running the business. So massive load for her to shoulder. And while I was away, it was tough. Long periods away, it's hot, it's dusty, uncomfortable, and it's just routine. And it aged me because it's so tough work. No spring chicken. But when you're thrust together with a group of people 24/7, you're working in remote mining camps, you work with them for 12 hours on site, and then you eat with them at dinner, you see them in the gym, then you're all in bed by 9 o'clock and up again at 4, day after day after day. So you're thrust together with these people in a small environment. So camaraderie builds. Yeah, I've got some lifelong friends out of those years. And there are a lot of elements that I absolutely loved and wouldn't trade for the world. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Again, it's another experience. I say to people, young people, go for that new experience. Go out of your comfort zone. That first job I ever went on, finally got the email back after applying. Yep, got a job. It was a 3-week job at a uranium mine. What could possibly go wrong? Uranium mine. I was shitting myself. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't used my trade for a few years. Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to know what to do? And I'm the sort of person that, I get a little bit apprehensive. I don't really get anxiety. I thrive on it. If it's something new, well, you get the butterflies. I'm like, yes, I'm in. Let's do it. Love it. Sense of adventure. Bit of trepidation, but really it was exciting. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. That 3 weeks, 21 days, I was supposed to be there. I think it turned into about 7 weeks. That's mining. money is like confetti to them companies. So
Yeah.
what they
They're offering. They're saying, okay, he's good. We'll offer you some more, and the money was.
Yeah, the only reason you do it, you're getting a good hourly rate. You're getting paid really good money, so you're there. And then at the end of 3 weeks, they go, well, we're not really finished. We've got all this other stuff to do. You want to stay?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. You're thinking
I'm getting fed 3 meals a day, a roof over my head. I'm not spending a cent.
Every dollar I'm earning here is
going back home. Yeah, I'll stay and check in with the wife every night. How's things going? Yes, all right, no worries.
Yeah.
They want me to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
More money in the bank. So then, once I was in, I was in, and because I just chased shutdowns, short-term contract work, I could sort of pick and choose. I could go away, do a couple of weeks here, a couple of weeks there. As often as I wanted, I could have just stayed away permanently. But when I did come home, I was with my boys 24/7. Like they'd missed me for a month. I'd come home. I'm like, well, I'm going to be home for a month. If I had to, I'd pull them out of school. Let's go camping. Let's do this. Let's go fishing. And we love our fishing. You know, we got a little boat. We go out. We love diving and fishing and going out to remote places, exploring like explorers, adventure. The adventure that I grew up with as a kid on a bit of a farm there, hunting, shooting, fishing, getting out there, away from all the crap around you.
Yeah.
And when you're out on a boat, you know, it's just you and the elements. You're so weary of what's going on around you. You got to think about it the whole time. The tides, the weather, the winds, how big your boat is for certain conditions. But it's a beautiful world out there.
That takes you out of your head, doesn't it? Because that's the problem that people don't realise when you're on your. It's not so much the screen is the problem. It's that. We're roughing it. This is podcasting roughing it style. Universe escape from the matrix. Like we
universe.
Yeah, we jump the hatch and we're on the escape. Okay, so you've got to be careful at the table. But no, what was I saying? The screen is not necessarily the problem. It's the fact that you think that you're actually doing something. Your brain is telling you you're doing something, but you're not actually doing something.
It's a distraction from the real world around you.
So just by doing something like getting out on a boat, and you're actually doing something, you're actually tapping back into your real self, even if it's for an hour.
Our roots, and especially under the water. Like we love diving and snorkeling, love it. And the beauty of when you go underwater, you're thrust into a world of tunnel vision because you can only see this. You're wearing a mask, so it becomes a very personal. You know, the only sound is the bubbles and the fish around you. So it's a deeply personal thing, and it is another world. It's the closest you'll come to flying in life. It's amazing. And again, distractions are dangerous. You've got to really know what you're doing. You've got to be careful. And I brought both my boys up very, very weary of the water and the seas and what you can do. I think maybe my love for the ocean, could stem from my grandfather. He ran away to sea when he was 14 years old. He grew up in Denmark in a little fishing village, and very tough childhood. The sort of childhood where in midwinter, when the oceans would freeze between Sweden, his mum would send him out to find frozen seabirds, bring back for dinner. So when he was 14, screw this, he jumped on a ship and ran away to sea. And that was him spending his life.
Never went back and worked.
He went back to marry my grandmother and still plied the oceans, and they had 2 daughters, my mum and my auntie. So they're my Danish roots. And he immigrated to Australia, and my mum and my auntie, they all followed with their husbands in tow and me as a babe in arms, and settled just a couple of k's that way on Phillip Island. Because he was an old seafarer, and that's where he wanted to live. And spend his days. And that's why I love this part of the world. Bass Coast. And I love the oceans in winter. Bass Strait in winter is something else. And to look out there, you realise how insignificant we are when nature is at play in all its fury.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to rely on each other and to help each other. Because you can't make it alone in life. Nature will eat you up in a heartbeat. So
Yeah, we have this funny idea that nature is nice and pleasant.
Yeah.
and
or we can harness it to our
it will just offer up what we want, and nature is the nasty, vicious,
turn on you in a heartbeat.
and you're dead.
Yeah, and you're dead.
And you're just gone. Yeah. So you got to be totally. In fact, it's a beautiful winter day. The sun is still. You think this is what it's like down here? Most of the time in winter down here, you're not outside.
No,
it's scary.
No, you're facing west.
Yeah,
copping the full brunt of 90% of the weather.
Yeah, it's fun. Good fun. Keeps you alive.
Oh yes, definitely
keeps you thinking. Whew, okay.
Yeah.
Keep my wits about me.
Yeah, that's right. Western Port looks like a mill pond today, but it can get pretty wild.
Yeah. It's I guess there was that transition. So you did work in the traffic management.
Yep.
Which led to operations management. And then we just skipped over a little bit that when you did that FIFO work, you used that skill from that operations management and you found yourself becoming operations manager on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
But for big companies.
From looking after all those traffic controllers and organise them into their specific crews, when I went into the mining industry FIFO, I then became supervision and coordination of crews of people. I'd get to a job where we had a month and I'm handed a brief of, 300 different jobs. I've got, 30, 40 blokes at my disposal. And within the first sort of 24, 36 hours, I've got to organise those crews for the boilermakers, the welders, the fitters with their TAs, and who is best suited for each job and who's going to work well together. So it's those skills from working with all those traffic controllers put me in good stead to suss people out. Like I said, just sitting here, having a chat, figuring them out, and knowing, okay, you're going to be a good fit for here. This bloke's scared of heights. I'm not going to stick him in an elevated work platform to work up there. From the base level like that to a lot of other things, how they work, how they respond to instruction, and working on shutdowns like that, it can be pretty intense and high pressure because you're working to a schedule. This is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that has shut down production for us to flood it with labour and fix everything, so that it's up and running at this moment on this day. So that it can then start producing billions of dollars for the company.
And there's lots at stake.
So it's very critical. You stuff up, they'll throw 10 more people at it and boot you off. And so you want to do it right. Because again, you want praise for a job well done. So you want to do it right. And, you've got to guide people, lead people. You can only lead people if they want to be led. You can't drag them kicking and screaming to fulfill an outcome because that's just not going to work. So you want it to be pretty harmonious and people want to achieve that goal. And
I dare say that role, then we're getting a bit more money to send back to the family. Keep the business going.
And it was it maybe 4 years ago? It got to the point where the business had been growing and growing, and my wife said to me, well, she rang me, I was at work, I'd got a job in the same sort of industry but based in Melbourne, which was fantastic. I was home each night. She rang and basically said, you got to come back. And it was overwhelming. It was almost a breaking point. So I ditched what I was doing, come back to the job full time, our company. And finally, after, 16, 17 years, this little company, we could now both work in it together and make a wage to live and do something positive. So it wasn't easy. It was not easy getting there. I had to get to a point where it could sustain us both. And pay the bills, pay everyone's wage, and do
keep your own little community.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I love the fact I could finally turn my back and wave goodbye to that
Other world.
that other world, that awful industry. But did give me a lot of pleasure and a lot of grey hairs, heartache.
Yeah. And in a way, you've taken the skills from for young people, like you said, your words, experience.
Yeah.
Have experiences. You've taken skills from scouting, taken skills from your apprenticeship, taken skills from the traffic controlled team. You've taken those
skills from when we were teenagers and in our early 20s, just living large, going out and watching bands all through the weekend at any time of day or night on the streets, living the Badlands. You learn a lot of skills there in self-reliance and reading a room.
Yeah.
Street smarts.
Yeah, street smarts.
Those skills as well, very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah,
Very important.
very, very important, especially today, out on the streets, young people, they're just faced with a multitude of dodgy situations. I've been walking around in Melbourne. I hate going to the city. Not for that reason. I just don't like cities in general. But you just feel a bit iffy in some areas.
Is that because you're a boilermaker? I'm just guessing. I'm guessing that's a joke, but I don't know.
Well, about people.
Yeah, well, cities. I mean,
Cities.
What's a boilermaker doing in a city?
Oh, true. We built the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So being able to read a room, and having that street savviness about you is very important.
It's extremely important.
Yeah.
And so your business now, you're in a happy place. You've someone might think, you've got it easy, or but actually it's decades.
Yeah.
It's a decades long adventure, and every single
easy
part of your life has contributed to that. And then for young people, I don't know where I'm going. Well, just have an experience. You don't know
Just
what it might lead to.
just learn something new. You want to be happy, but life isn't easy. There shouldn't be any expectation that it's just going to be handed to you or it's going to be easy. You're going to work at it. But that's not to say you've got to be shackled to a road gang and dig ditches all your life. You've got to contribute. But it's not easy. If you think I'm kicking back saying I'm on easy street, I'm not on easy street. And it hasn't been easy getting to at least this modicum of comfort that I do have at the moment. I've still got a lot of worries and everything else. But life's a journey. It's not a destination. It's, and there are a lot of paths for you to go down. It's choosing the right one, choosing wisely. Sometimes we make shitty decisions. We've all made them. Again, it's an experience. And it's not a failure.
You learn not to do that one again.
That's right. It's not a failure. It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve. Yeah. We've all done them, and we will all continue to make them. So I'd love to have a silver bullet of advice that I could pass on to any young person, but I don't. It's a tough world. Choose your mentors that actually, make you feel good about yourself in a positive way. It will come. It will come. We'll go back to that saying. People are good. 99% of people are pretty good. Trust your gut. Most people are there, they want to help. They feel good about helping people, and people that are helped feel good for being helped. What goes around comes around. Yeah. So you got to deal with these young people every day and reassure them.
That's my job.
Yeah, that's your job, and I don't envy it.
I love it. I love it.
You have to.
I miss the kids when I'm not at school.
There's nothing more rewarding than actually seeing something come to fruition, whether that's something you've built or a person that you have taken from a very bad situation and guided them into a situation in their life where they feel positive about themselves and are contributing to not only themselves but those around them.
Okay.
Because once you can contribute to your own well-being and the people you love, then you've won. Really? Yeah. Things are easy.
Things are
Never easy. But getting to but feeling sense of self-satisfaction and knowing that you've got people around you that love you and support you. Yeah. That's an unbelievable combination. Yeah. Feeling good about yourself.
Feels good about it.
First step in doing that, and find people around you that make you feel good about yourself. That's one of the secrets. Yeah. If there are secrets out there.
Yeah. And I think a long term, so if you're talking about self-satisfaction for a job well done, knowing that you've been working at this example, your business, for example, has taken 2 decades, it's taken lots of sacrifice, you described all that, that's a better satisfaction than something that took 3 weeks. Like there's no one can take that ever from you.
It is. With our business now, I do deal with a lot of companies and work that comes through them, but I deal with a lot of people off the street. I just average punters that bring their garment or their their backpack, their sleeping bag or their tent that a wombat's chewed a hole in it, or the dog's ripped up their sleeping bag or the zipper's broken, and they're like, I paid $500 for this jacket and done this. I'm like, I can fix it, and no worries. And they'll drop it off and come back in a couple of days, and it's as good as new. Or they can see a patch and they'll wear that like as a badge of honour because it's fixed. This otherwise perfectly functional jacket would be thrown in the trash, and they've got it, and it might be a really well loved bit of kit that they've been wearing for years.
Yeah.
Trashed it out, had some great adventures, a lot of memories, and we fixed it. We get one more day out of that jacket. It's back on.
And I've seen you've got a tally of all the pieces of all the garments you've kept out of.
Well, we base it on purely the amount of product that comes through our doors that we've repaired. That's one more item that hasn't gone into landfill, into that mountain of landfill.
Into hundreds of thousands.
Back in the economy, they're still using it. I'm giving a little bit back.
Yeah, totally.
Giving a little bit back. It's not all take.
I think
we all do.
I think you've given a lot back, right? I think that it's been I think it's been really cool listening to you and getting some insights into your journey and how you have given back.
Who'd have thought that wild green-haired punk going and watching bands
would be a pillar of society with his own community.
Trusted member of society. Trusted to repair my most favourite gear.
And we'll put a link to your business if people want to come and find you.
No worries. Appreciate it. But no, it's been awesome, man. We have caught up twice in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Since those days, usually at a wedding or something, and no, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome, great. Mate, it's been great watching you from afar, working at what you do. Not just the art and the teaching, but how you've transitioned into this role of helping young people. It really, it's really something I can ascribe to. I think it's a very noble cause. It's a very important cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon we aimed for 10 words that would be inspiring. I reckon we did a lot better than that. So,
no worries.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you, you are a legend.
Cheers. Last one. Look, we made this last much longer than we used to when we were kids.
That's not advice for childhood.
No, this is for old people.
Yeah. It's high quality apple juice.
Apple bits, yeah.
Yeah. Can't believe this day.
How cool is it?
Blue sky, no wind,
Yeah.
beautiful sunshine.
It's rare.
It's a bit chilly. It is a bit chilly.
Yeah, a bit chilly. And that's with that big windscreen there. So we get out of that, it'll be a little bit. But as you get in the sun, it's actually probably got a bit of warmth from the sun. But I've got some steaks upstairs. You hungry?
I think we'll eat a steak.
Always hungry for a steak. Yeah, well, I always get nervous and hope they've worked. But so far it's been so good. Everything's actually worked every time. So and I think that to be honest, with this many cameras and gizmos, I can get away with technology.
Oh, that does.
Did I not? Is this one not working, or is it going to sleep? No, it's still going. There